number can I dial for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you, miss. Can you connect me to the Elysee, 1528? I want to speak to Sophia Blake.
Right away, sir. Sophia Blake, who's speaking?
Miss Blake? This is Gus McPherson. Can we meet? I'd like to clarify a few points with you.
Meet me in an hour at the restaurant Chez Alexandre. We can talk there.
If you want to see me, Mr. McPherson, I imagine it's because you've made some headway.
Actually, several new occurrences have come to light. Occurrences that require an explanation from you, Miss Blake.
I don't understand, Mr. McPherson. What do you mean?
What I have learned totally contradicts what you said about the Whites. Who were they really?
Ruby White was my younger sister, and Regis White was her husband. I already told you, Mr. McPherson.
There is one small detail in all this that you failed to mention. The head of Baphomet. Does that mean anything to you, Miss Blake?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. McPherson. Should I?
I do not like to be taken for a fool, Miss Blake.
All right. I admit that I wasn't totally honest with you. What do you want to know?
Who, in your opinion, killed the Whites?
The Whites were criminals, Mr. McPherson. They made a foolish mistake. They're dead. Aside from their own carelessness, it can only be because of the man who is behind all of this, Grégoire de Alpin.
Do you think the killer will strike again?
He would do anything to achieve his aim, Mr. McPherson. Everyone who has crossed his path is in danger. The man is insane. He'll kill again. You must understand that you are the only one who can stop him. We have to put an end to this madness. The object must be found before other heads roll.
Then you recognize the existence of this man, Grégoire d'Alpin. Who is he really?
A madman, blinded by an obsession to possess a supposedly valuable relic, the head of Baphomet. By stealing it, he destroyed my life. D'Alpin led my husband to his death, my family to ruin.
In the course of my investigations, I was told about a much coveted object, the head of Baphomet. Does that mean anything to you?
The object has been in my husband's family for generations, Mr. McPherson. I didn't lie to you. Grégoire d'Alpin stole it from us. My husband, already weak from his illness, died of sorrow. I now want to retrieve what is rightfully mine and avenge the memory of the man I loved.
What exactly is the importance of this object, this head of Baphomet? And why is d'Alpin so anxious to get hold of it?
I don't really know. My husband was very secretive about the value of the head of Baphomet. As for me, I simply want to retrieve what is rightfully mine. But d'Alpin and his lot venerate the relic, surrounded with many legends. Legends of immortality. As you grow old, these legends suddenly become a source of hope, a source of life and death.
Ruby and Regis White never existed. Not as you described them anyway. Who were they really?
I don't have a sister, Mr. McPherson. Ruby White's real name was Faye Johnson, and Jerome Johnson was her real husband. I hired them, a terrible mistake on my part, but I'm not responsible for their death.
What were they doing in Paris? I want the truth, Miss Blake.
They were supposed to retrieve the object that was stolen from me. Everything was planned in minute detail. They failed. Their death is a regrettable accident.
Why so many identities?
They were professional con artists. things, Mr. McPherson. As soon as they occupied their room at the Hotel Orphée, they became the Whites, a rich couple on vacation. It was also the signal that they had pulled it off. I was supposed to take delivery of the merchandise. Unfortunately, they were killed in the meantime.
Go and tell the police what you have told me. Inspector Lebrun will be glad to help you. He'll understand, I'm sure.
You still haven't understood. The police do not want a part of this. Delpin has the Paris police in his pocket, Mr. McPherson. Paris is just a puppet on his string.
That is a tragic story, Miss Blake. Why didn't you tell me the truth from the outset?
I was alone in Paris, confronted by a fearless enemy. I had to act quickly and discreetly. If you had refused to help me, Mr. McPherson, I would have had no one else. I didn't want to be dishonest with you.
Supposing I refuse to continue the investigation?
It's too late, Mr. McPherson. We can't back out now. The Whites are dead. This doorman is dead. Your patron is dead. Would you be able to live with new victims on your conscience? Innocent people you've met, questioned? Find me the head of Baphomet and the problem will be resolved.
Well, if you put it like that, I agree to carry on, Miss Blake.
You see, we can reach an agreement, Mr. McPherson.
Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Bebe, I need the letter of introduction. Is it finished?
Here it is.
As I have already told you several times, sir, you cannot obtain any information here. As the doorman, I'm responsible for the security of the premises.
Ah, Mr. McPherson, I was just thinking about you. Good to see you again. Have you brought me any more culprits?
I'm not giving up, Inspector. Quite the opposite. I will be back when I have some news.
Fine, McPherson. Come back whenever you want. You know where to find me.
Come back later. I need to rest.
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Hello, what number can I dial for you?
I'm sorry to disturb you, miss. Can you connect me to the post office, please? I'd like to send a telegram.
Right away, sir. Poste télégraphe, go ahead, please.
This is urgent. A telegram for J. Wells, Pinkerton Agency, New York. Take this down. Seek information on a couple, Faye and Jerome Johnson. Stop. Americans. Stop.
I've made a note of it. Finished, sir? Goodbye.
Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Berenice, I'm just asking you to be careful. This business is complicated and more dangerous than it seems. Anyway, I'm off. See you soon.
Ciao, Mac. Take care.
Strange, I don't remember Eloy mentioning it. At the heart of the egg, the secret of the soul. A wax cylinder with the cycle of the phoenix by F. Kaufner written on it. All we need now is a phonograph. Strange front door. An improved version of all the other locks I've come across so far.
gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Berenice, I'm just asking you to be careful. This business is complicated and more dangerous than it seems. Anyway, I'm off. See you soon.
Ciao, Mac. Take care. Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Berenice, I'm just asking you to be careful. This business is complicated and more dangerous than it seems. Anyway, I'm off. See you soon.
Ciao, Mac. Take care.
What number can I dial for you?
Forgive me, miss. I seem to have misplaced the number. Thanks all the same.
If you want to talk to someone, you will need their number. Glad to be of service, sir. Goodbye.
Mac, I'm gonna start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Bebe, I need a small favor. I have to infiltrate the Brotherhood, and I need a fake letter of introduction. Can you write me one using these documents?
Again? Right. Come and see me later. Your letter will be ready.
Did I realize how great an impact dealing with this man would have on me, on my career, on my own destiny? His soul has passed from body to body down through the centuries. The cycle of the phoenix. He is the phoenix, risen from the ashes. He has confided in me the secret of his power, of his riches, the head of Baphomet. I am very familiar with the myth. The Companion's library featured more than one legend on the subject. Grégoire d'Alpin claims to have been in possession of the head since the Middle Ages. He acquired it on behalf of the Knights Templar and kept it after their dissolution. They dare to call my manifesto a scientific fairy tale. They think they're the leading experts in psychoanalysis. Vienna. I will prove my theory to them. I will prove that Grégoire d'Alpin is immortal. Slowly but surely, my role in the Alpin's existence has grown in importance. Using hypnosis, I have managed to impose my will upon him, all the while espousing his ambitions. I shall be his successor as the head of the Companions. His power, his riches, the Baphomet, it will all be mine. I shall be his heir. The time has come. This evening, the Alpin wishes to see me at his manor. Gracie Eaton, his Adeline, will be there. Tonight, I shall become the greatest. Neither Vienna nor the Alpin can stop me now. The old fool is convinced that I'm ready to receive his soul. Ready to receive his riches, more like. And the influence that comes with them. Then Vienna shall pay for its insolence.
start thinking you can't do without me. Did I forget something at your place?
Bebe, I need the letter of introduction. Is it finished?
Here it is.
I see. The orders rooms are at your disposal.
back later. I need to rest.
alchemy kit. All these flasks contain powders. What on earth does he do with them all?
But he couldn't stop me from joining the Templars. I have to try to cleanse myself of their sin of the flesh. Because of him and my mother, my soul may already be condemned to hell. Only the balm of the Templars' faith can rid it of the mortal sin engraved upon it. On October 9th, Saint Denis Day, I finally discovered the traces of the head. Blessed by Saint Denis, he who smiles down on me in all his beatitude to help me leave my soul. Yes, Saint Denis is smiling on me. The head purifies me. As God is my witness, I, Simon le Bel, in this year of our Lord, 1305, shall enter the body of Pierre le Bel de Clemency tomorrow, June 24th, and shall retrieve what is mine by divine right. In this new body, purified of my soul and of my parents' carnal sin, death will no longer hold any mystery for me. The head of Baphomet has finally revealed all of its secrets. Victory! I would shout this divine miracle from the rooftops if I did not fear the unbelievers and their stake. I am in a new, younger, stronger body, and it is God's will. How else can I explain Adeline's appearance at my bedside? Blessed and cursed. God gave me a new body, but Adeline, my angel, who took care of this new body, is forbidden to me. It would seem she is the daughter of that idiot, Pierre. That's to say, my own daughter at present. I am weary of this existence. What is the point of living for centuries if I can never again glimpse the smile of my beloved Adeline? Ah, Adeline, you who are forbidden to me, will I ever see your sweet face again? I would gladly exchange these solitary centuries to see your face, your eyes, once more. She has returned. She is once more of this world, and so close to me. She visited Kaufner today. It really was her. That excellent doctor of the mind confirmed it. It is her, and this time she will be mine for the rest of my life.
Well, Miss Blake, it would seem you did not tell me everything. Right, that's all I needed. Blake's been abducted and the kidnapper takes himself for a Dialpe. And naturally he wants the head in exchange. As if I knew where it was.
McPherson. something awful's happened. Hulot is dead. He's been murdered.
Hulot dead, and the soul of the Alembic gone with him. We've all lost a great friend, Berenice. Keep your chin up, baby. Don't let them get you down. They're still the Alembic.
Hulot started from nothing. He worked as a construction worker on the metro before becoming a very important patron of the arts. You know, a big shot.
Hulot never did anything for nothing. If he did you a favor, you knew you would have to pay him back one way or another. He was a man of many resources. Money, tip-offs, favors. He always knew where to get them.
Mac, all that was Hulot. A real hub of the Parisian art scene. The paint never dried under his feet. There was something to suit everybody's taste.
But Berenice, doing those little favors could have sometimes made crooks out of us. Everyone knew Albert was a fence.
Hulot saw himself as the Robin Hood of the art world. He got money out of the rich for the art of the poor. He may have been a fence, but he had ideas.
Berenice, relationships like that only bring trouble, either with fences or with the police.
Of course, Mac. I worked for Hulot. We all have to live, you know. And sculpture doesn't exactly pay a girl's rent.
You say you've copied works of art for Hulot? Has he commissioned any work recently?
Strangely enough, yes. The day you came to the Alembic, the first time, I gave him a copy of a grotesque bust.
My God. Berenice, the bust. The bust you sculpted for Hulot. Did it look like what you see in the sketch?
It is exactly the same. Hulot asked me to make a copy. I gave it to him the night you came. Mac, I'm scared. What's going on?
It's awful. I have to find this head before there are any more deaths. Even your life is at risk, Berenice. The killer is after this head. Don't you see, baby? I have to find out how Hulot got his hands on this accursed object.
I have no idea who gave the head to Hulot. I made a copy, that's all.
I feel as bad as you do, Berenice. Anyone who comes to the Alembic will be grieving. The place will be a shrine to him. Everyone who comes in will be reminded of Albert Hulot. So many stories.
You know how much Hulot loved his entourage. Everybody had a chance. The Alembic was his masterpiece. Take this fresco, for example. You know how many artists contributed? Hulot would ask them to paint a bit, sometimes just a brushstroke. Over the years, it became his treasure.
It's true. That fresco is rather special. Did he tell you what it is meant to represent?
He used to sit and stare at the fresco at night. Honestly, Mac, it kept the secrets of his soul.
Berenice, we have to get to the bottom of this before everyone else dies. Do you know who is heading the inquiry?
Inspector Lebrun, always spotless, the perfect bourgeois. They're putting on an act in an attempt to hoodwink us. In fact, Mac, they haven't got anything to go on. Hulot, you, me, Elouin, for them we're all nobodies. It's up to us to unravel this.
Berenice, Hulot is dead. We have to be careful too. Was it the police who told you? They have a suspect. They're already holding Elouin.
The pigs? They're all the same. The investigation is taking its course, miss. Like hell. Everything I know I got from my contacts.
It's awful. Hulot was not supposed to die. He could not die. He was the last person to see the whites alive. The police. Did the police tell you how it happened?
I don't know how to describe it. It is so sordid. His head, Mac, his head was cut off. His body was hanging on the front of the car, and his head was sitting on the hood like a figurehead. Worst of all, in his mouth. The police found a coin in his mouth.
My God, Berenice. Why him? Why Hulot? When did this happen? And you, Bebe, are you okay?
The cops discovered his body at sunrise, but he may have been dead for a couple of days. I have no idea. No idea.
I'm not sure I've grasped the magnitude of this business. But one thing's for sure. You are not safe, Berenice. Be careful. I will do everything in my power to put a stop to these crimes. Everything.
Find the killer for me, Mac. I will manage on my own.
Hulot, what was the secret you had hidden right under our noses all the time? was the secret you had hidden right under our noses all the time.
Mr. McPherson, I was just thinking about you. Good to see you again. Have you brought me any more culprits?
Your charge of murder against Hellouin just doesn't hold water, Inspector Lebrun. Another man is dead, Hulot. Albert Hulot was killed in the same circumstances as the Whites and Mallet.
In other words, the accomplice is still out there.
We've been barking up the wrong tree from the start, Inspector. The Whites never were the Whites.
The Whites were not the Whites? McPherson, what are you talking about?
The Whites do not exist. I have their passports here. They are American citizens. They did not arrive in Paris a few days ago. They got here over a month ago. You want to know what name they used? Johnson, Inspector.
All right. Let's suppose they were using pseudonyms. Could you tell me why?
Ruby and Regis are not the real names of the Orphée victims. I have in my possession a ring that clearly indicates the woman's name was Faye.
Well, that does not prove anything, McPherson. What about all the sweet talk, huh? Faye and Ferry. Of course. Why complicate things to my Ferry with love?
A letter. A letter signed Sophia Blake confirms that they were hired to commit a robbery. The letter is addressed to Faye and Jerome Johnson, Inspector.
Thieves? What did they steal then, McPherson? We did not find anything in their room, and moreover, no one has brought up charges. Explain that.
They robbed Grégoire d'Alpin. The plan was orchestrated by the same woman who hired me, Sophia Blake. This is a major con trick, Inspector.
De Alpin? Grégoire de Alpin? The banker? McPherson, I assure you that a man as important as Grégoire de Alpin would have called on the police to solve this case. He has the means, believe me.
If you have any doubts about d'Alpin's involvement, I have something that will convince you, Inspector. A glass vial, taken from his home, identical to the one found broken in the White's room.
McPherson, Grégoire de Alpin is surely not the only man in the world to own such a vial. It proves nothing.
Stop protecting d'Alpin. He's the only man in Paris who can obtain these vials. The only one capable of putting this gas inside them. The purple gas he uses to put his victims to sleep.
Leave the vial with me. I will have it examined.
Here you are.
Thank you, McPherson.
It's strange, but it's true. Doubtless d'Alpin preferred to sort this business out in the greatest secrecy. Just ask Hellouin. He's the one who investigated it.
I will have to check with Monsieur de Alpin. I can't tell you more, McPherson.
Inspector Lebrun, what I have shown you is irrefutable proof of Elouin's innocence. I found the knife used to cut off the victims' heads.
The murder weapon must be a knife of extreme precision, medical precision, with an incredibly sharp blade. Show me what you have, McPherson.
This is the murder weapon, just as I found it at Gregoire d'Alpin's home.
Thank you, McPherson.
D'Alpin. D'Alpin is dead. He's been dead for over a week.
What are you talking about? If anything happens to Mr. d'Alpin, I assure you heads will roll.
D'Alpin looks to have died peacefully of old age. Nothing like the other murders. I have a photo here. See for yourself.
Even if Mr. d'Alpin had died of natural causes, it would not prove Elouin's innocence, McPherson. Quite the contrary.
If d'Alpin has been dead for over a week, he couldn't have hired Elouin to investigate. Do you not see, Inspector? Somebody else hired Elouin.
And I suppose you're going to tell me who this mysterious person is, Mr. McPherson.
One gold, one brass. One at d'Alpin's, the other at Kaufner's. 2 ancient coins. These prove that both men were involved in the murders.
Everyone has the right to collect ancient coins. Anyway, what has Dr. Kaufner to do with all this?
That is too much. Will you never face up to the facts? You know as well as I do that coins like these were found on all the victims.
How do you know about the coins?
A couple of anonymous sources are enough to keep me abreast.
Beauvais will get an earful about this. Leave the coins with me. They are evidence.
No way. You said so yourself. This is evidence. I'll wait until real charges have been brought.
As you wish, McPherson. As you wish.
But Inspector, Elouin and Hulot never met. He had no motive for killing him.
Elouin had never met the Whites, but he killed them nonetheless. Albert Hulot was probably another embarrassing witness.
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
So until proven otherwise, Elouin is my #1 suspect.
I'm not giving up, Inspector. Quite the opposite. I will be back when I have some news.
Fine, McPherson. Come back whenever you want. You know where to find me. Ah, Mr. McPherson, I was just thinking about you. Good to see you again. Have you brought me any more culprits?
I'm not giving up, Inspector. Quite the opposite. I will be back when I have some news.
Fine, McPherson. Come back whenever you want. You know where to find me.
Mac, I don't know what to think anymore, Mac.
Berenice, there it is. You recognize your own handiwork? The heads of Baphomet, exact copies. Not even my expert eye can distinguish between the original and the fake.
Mac, what you see here is my life's work. It is really perfect. It is good work.
I'm not sure I've grasped the magnitude of this business. But one thing's for sure. You are not safe, Berenice. Be careful. I'll do everything in my power to put a stop to these crimes. Everything.
Find the killer for me, Mac. I will manage on my own.
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
You are the detective, are you not?
Of all the strange things that my investigation has thrown up, Mrs. Loiseau, there's nothing more mysterious than this object that everyone calls the head of Baphomet. What do you know about it?
Throughout the ages, this relic has been the subject of so many rumors and aroused so much greed that many have doubted its existence.
Some seem to think that this object possesses magic powers. Another illusion dreamed up by fans of esotericism.
The church also has its relics, Mr. McPherson. Instead of magic, they talk of miracles. What is important is the faith that believers attach to the object of worship. Nothing else.
How can a psychoanalyst like Dr. Kaufner believe that the head of Baphomet holds some kind of power?
Dr. Kaufner has become the mirror of the Halopin soul. They are so alike, we no longer know which one is pulling the strings. He has lost both his will and reason.
Do you believe that, Mrs. Loiseau? Do you share Grégoire d'Alpin's views?
De Halopin firmly believes that the Baphomet confers eternal life, Mr. McPherson.
And d'Alpin managed to spread this myth by surrounding himself with loyal supporters who share his beliefs.
The head of Baphomet has belonged to Grégoire de Halopin for a long time. It is the symbol of his power over the Brotherhood. It is his only reason for living.
So in losing Baphomet, d'Alpin has lost his head, in a manner of speaking.
Yes, to believe so strongly in a power that it controls your life.
D'Alpin is dead. The myth of Baphomet is absurd. There is no such thing as immortality.
What is immortality? What is eternal life? Only Philistines talk about it. Those who do know, do not talk.
Mr. McPherson, I was just thinking about you. Good to see you again. Have you brought me any more culprits?
I'm not giving up, Inspector. Quite the opposite. I will be back when I have some news.
Fine, McPherson. Come back whenever you want. You know where to find me. Ah, Mr. McPherson, I was just thinking about you. Good to see you again. Have you brought me any more culprits?
I'm not giving up, Inspector. Quite the opposite. I will be back when I have some news.
Fine, McPherson. Come back whenever you want. You know where to find me.